Perks of Being a Wallflower, pages 19 through 21, PDF version. October 28, 1991. Dear friend, I'm sorry I haven't written to you in a couple of weeks, but I've been trying to participate like Bill said. It's strange because sometimes I read a book and I think I am the people in the book. Also, when I write letters, I spend the next 2 days thinking about what I figured out in my letters. I don't know if this is good or bad. Nevertheless, I'm trying to participate. Incidentally, the book Bill gave me was Peter Pan. I know what you're thinking, the cartoon Peter Pan with the Lost Boys. The actual book is so much better than that. It's just about this boy who refuses to grow up, and when Wendy grows up, he feels very betrayed. At least that's what I got out of it. I think Bill gave me the book to teach me a lesson of some kind. The good news is that I read the book, and because of its fantasy nature, I could not pretend that I was in the book. That way I could participate and still read. In terms of participation in things, I'm trying to go to a social events that they set up in my school. It's too late to join any clubs or anything like that, but I'm still trying to go to things that I can. Things like the homecoming football game and dance, even if I don't have a date. I cannot imagine that I will ever come home for a homecoming game after I leave here, but it was fun to pretend that I was. I found Patrick and Sam sitting in their normal spots in the bleachers, and I started acting like I hadn't seen them in a year, even though I'd seen them that afternoon at lunch when I ate my orange and they smoked cigarettes. Patrick, is that you? And Sam, it's been so long. Who's winning? God, college is such a trial. My professor is making me read 27 books this weekend, and my girlfriend needs me to paint signs for a protest rally Tuesday. Let those administrators know we mean business. Dad is busy with his golf swing, and Mom has her hands full with tennis. We must do this again. I would stay, but I have to pick up my sister from her emotional workshop. She's making real progress. Good to see ya. And then I walked away. I went down to the concession stand and I bought 3 boxes of nachos and a Diet Coke for Sam. When I returned, I sat down and gave Patrick and Sam the nachos and Sam her Diet Coke, and Sam smiled. The great thing about Sam is that she doesn't think I'm crazy for pretending to do things. Patrick doesn't either, but he was too busy watching the game and screaming at Brad, the quarterback. Sam told me during the game that they were going over to their friend's house later for a party. Then she asked me if I wanted to go, and I said yes, because I had never been to a party before. I had seen one, though, at my house. My parents went to Ohio to see a very distant cousin get married or buried. I don't remember which. And they left my brother in charge of the house. He was 16 at the time. I was ordered to stay in my room, which was okay, but that's where everyone kept their coats, and it was fun looking through the stuff in their pockets. Every 10 minutes or so, a drunk girl or boy would stumble in my room and see if they could make out in there or something. Then they would see me and walk away. That is, except for this one couple. This one couple, whom I was later told were very popular and in love, stumbled into my room and asked if I minded them using it. I told them that my brother and sister and I had to stay here, and they closed the door and started kissing. I told them my brother and sister said that I had to stay here, and they asked if they could use the room anyway with me still in it. I said I didn't see why not, so they closed the door and started kissing very hard. After a few minutes, the boy's hand went up the girl's shirt, and she started protesting. Come on, Dave. What? The kid's in here. It's okay. And the boy kept working up the girl's shirt, and as much as she said no, he kept working it. After a few minutes, she stopped protesting, and he pulled her shirt off, and she had a white bra on with lace. I honestly didn't know what to do at this point. Pretty soon, he took her bra off and started to kiss her breasts, and then he put his hand down her pants, and she started moaning. I think they were both very drunk. He reached to take off her pants, but she started crying really hard, so he reached for his own. He pulled his pants and underwear down to his knees. Please, Dave. No. But the boy just talked soft to her about how good she looked and things like that. And she grabbed his penis with her hands and started moving it. I wish I could describe this a little more nicely without using words like penis, but that's the way it is. After a few minutes, the boy pushed the girl's head down and she started to kiss his penis. She was still crying. Finally, she stopped crying because he had put his penis in her mouth, and I don't think you can cry in that position. I had to stop watching at that point because I started to feel sick. But it kept going, and they kept doing other things, and she kept saying no. Even when I covered my ears, I could still hear her say that. My sister came in eventually to bring me a bowl of potato chips, and when she found the boy and the girl, they stopped. My sister was very embarrassed, but not as embarrassed as the girl. The boy kind of looked smug. He didn't say much. After they left, my sister turned to me. Did you know they were in here? Yes, they asked if they could use the room. Why didn't you stop them? I didn't know what they were doing. You pervert, was the last thing my sister said before she left the room, still carrying the bowl of potato chips. I told Sam and Patrick about this, and they both got very quiet. And Sam said that she used to go out with Dave for a while before she got into punk music, and Patrick said he had heard about that party. I wasn't surprised that he did, because it kind of became a legend. At least that's what I heard when I tell some kids who my older brother is. When the police came, they found my brother asleep on the roof. Nobody knows how he got there. My sister was making out in the laundry room with some senior. She was a freshman at the time. A lot of parents came to the house to pick up their kids. A lot of the girls were crying and throwing up. Most of the boys had run away by this point. My brother got in big trouble, and my sister was given a serious talk by my parents about bad influences, and that was that. The boy named Dave is a senior now. He plays on the football team. He is a wide receiver. I watched the end of the game when Dave caught a touchdown from Brad. It ended up winning the game for our school, and people went crazy in the stands because we won the game. But all I could think about was that party. I thought about it for quite a long time, and then I looked over to Sam. He raped her, didn't he? She just nodded. I couldn't tell if she was sad or she just knew more things than me. We should tell someone, shouldn't we? Sam just shook her head this time. She then explained about all the things you have to go through to prove it, especially in high school, when the boy and girl are popular and still in love. The next day at the homecoming dance, I saw them together, Dave and his girl, and I got really mad. It kind of scared me how mad I got. I thought about walking up to Dave and really hurting him, like maybe I should have really hurt Sean. And I think I would have, but Sam saw me and put her arm around me, or my shoulder like she does, and she calmed me down. And I guess I'm glad she did, because I would have gotten even madder if I had started hitting Dave and his girl stopped me because she loved him. I think I would have gotten extra madder about that. So I decided the next best thing was to let the air out of Dave's tires. Sam said she knew which was his car.